Hello, troopers, and welcome back to G.A.R. Productions. Today we will be looking at the 75346 Pirate Snub Fighter. Picked this one up. Actually, we'll get into that later, but I picked this one up recently and wanted to do a review on it. So first of all, we'll go over the minifigures. First of all, we have off this the Pilot Snub Fighter, or Snub Fighter Pilot, excuse me. A really good figure. I actually really like this. I really like the color design. It's very accurate to what we see in The Mandalorian. I like the color design of the yellow and then the gray flak vest, the use of the Rebel style helmet, but also then still yellow with the brown lines in the middle. Very cool. I really like this fighter pilot design. And then this is the one figure we have. Then the next figure we have is Vane from those couple episodes in The Mandalorian. Again, very decent design, good head, nice hat mold that they actually gave for him, pretty accurate. I will say I'm a little disappointed in like two aspects. One, I wish we could have got another figure for $30. Some sets like this only have two, but it would have been nice maybe to get another one. Don't necessarily need one, but would have been nice for $30. But still, I say a decent value at $30. It's okay, but I think there's a reason that makes it more of a value. But we'll get to that again in a minute. But I'm kind of disappointed in the head choice. I understand it's cheaper and it would be more expensive to come up with a new head mold, but I don't think there was really necessarily a pilot that looked just like Vane. They used the same headpiece for Vane and the Snub Fighter pilot. There was other ones that would have been really nice to do instead from the Mandalorian episode. I'll throw up a couple pictures of some of the other pilots. That would have been really nice to do instead of kind of taking the easy way out and just reusing the same head. I understand it's cheaper, but I don't think it would have been that much harder to do another head design because they've done other times where they've done multiple head designs when necessarily they maybe didn't have to. So that's a little disappointing more than not getting a third figure, I think, is not doing two different heads for the two figures. I really like the pilot, but I'm disappointed that it's the same head mold as Vane. But we'll hop into the actual Starfighter. I actually really like this Starfighter design. I think it's very accurate to the Mandalorian. I think it's actually a pretty decent display piece if you want just a little Starfighter. The guns on the front for the laser cannons look really cool. I really like how Lego designed it, putting they kind of slide into the another rod on the bottom. So I really like that design. These stud shooters, I'm not a huge fan of stud shooters, but they're incorporated in a way that aren't really distracting like on other sets, so I don't mind that. Especially nice for the kids. I like the engine design, the overall, just the look of it. I think they nailed really well. It is nice. There is multiple compartments. First of all, we have a compartment forward of the cockpit where you can put extra studs for the stud shooters, which is really nice. You can also put the pilot's blaster, so that's very nice. Fits seamlessly into the Starfighter. Very nice. And then behind the cockpit, we actually have another storage compartment for a small crate with some thermal detonators. So very nice. Very good utility for overall playability and also for, I guess, role playing if you want to do that thing, if you still play with your Legos. Very nice that it can carry some of those parts and pieces. So I'd overall say a good set. Is it worth the $30? I don't know. With only two figures, especially with the pilot having the same head and it not really fitting, you can recreate that couple scenes from The Mandalorian, but we haven't seen it in a lot. But there are a couple instances where I think it becomes more of a desirable option. Like for me, the reason I got this set is I found it on clearance at Walmart for $19. Then I think it becomes a really good deal. I got it on just a couple, like the beginning of the week. There was like 8 of them by the time I came back. Evidently, someone where I live, it was the town just south of me in the KC area. I don't know if someone is buying up to sell later, but like all of them were gone. So I don't know. Seems kind of suspicious that they were all gone because they had been there a little bit. I think they might have already been on sale there. I'm not 100% sure, but they were on clearance for $19. I think if you can find this thing on sale or clearance, it's a good, decent deal, especially if you like the Starfighter. And I think where it comes in nice because yes, they're specific from Mandalorian, but you can kind of get away with what you want to do, whatever. I'm actually going to be adding this to my mall forces. I think a Pirate Snub Fighter still would be applicable, that Maul could have forces like that. And they're a species that would fit with serving Maul and Crimson Dawn or his crime syndicate. So I'm actually going to be putting this with my Maul forces. So I think in that instance, if you want to just retcon it a little bit, I think it makes complete sense. So if you want to grow your forces for Darth Maul, I think this is not a horrible idea for something that isn't directly canon that we've seen, but would make a lot of sense if this was forces that he would have operated. So that is going to do it today, guys. I think, again, overall, a good set. I think some things hold it back, like the pilot, using the same head, and then just overall just 2 figures for $30. I wish we could have got a little bit more. Kind of missed the old $25 sets. But so just standard value, I'd give it probably a 8.8 out of 10. But at clearance price, 9.5 out of 10. That's a really good set for $19 if you can find it. So hopefully you guys can find it. That is also my deal of the week that I have found. And do come back later this week. I'm going to be going over May 4th discounts and information. And I'll be also going over army building sets that are retiring at the end of the year. So do stay tuned for that later this week.